With the boom in popularity of NFTs, digital artists can almost be regarded as overnight sensations. But as Trevor Jones explains in this series of discussions, his own success as an NFT artist is the result of an evolutionary journey that began with his very first exhibition, his discovery and subsequent decision to embrace and explore the creative opportunities of emerging digital mediums, and his determination to establish a sustainable working practice that uniquely combines the vocation of a traditional oil painter with digital technology.
Yeah, it's been quite the journey from graduating in 2008 from Edinburgh College of Art. I was 38 years old, so I wasn't a kid. I was very lucky in that I was hired as the director of a small arts charity, Art and Healthcare. I was also teaching part-time. I occasionally worked as a waiter still, had a couple spare rooms, so I was running Airbnb year-round. A lot of the money that I was making through these other jobs was paying my expensive habit of painting. By 2011, I was beginning to come to the realization that I would have to differentiate myself as an artist. There was just so much competition. It was at that point that I discovered QR codes. I had this kind of light bulb moment. This is an opportunity for me to use technology to advertise my show. I could have postcards, as you do, and you put them out, you send them out to different people, and I could have a QR code. I could send more information. People could scan this QR code and go to my website with more information about the show. But very soon after I discovered them, I thought, well, what about actually making a painting that was a QR code? And that consumed me. I was like, this is an amazing idea. Unfortunately, nobody else thought it was cool, and everybody hated these QR code paintings. I was still completely fascinated, consumed with the concept of technology and painting. The next year, I discovered augmented reality. I was playing around with technology, creating videos, using this AR tech to augment my paintings. You could scan the paintings with an app, and I would then upload, or you'd have an opportunity to explore more about the painting, the inspirations behind it, that kind of thing, tell stories. And again, I thought, this is amazing. This is going to be the beginning of something beautiful. And nobody liked the paintings. I kept struggling with it and struggling, and eventually in 2016 I had a show of political portraits. And this was kind of my Hail Mary attempt at getting a bit of publicity around the concept of AR paintings. So I created 10 portraits of world leaders at the time, made out of rubbish, garbage that I found on the streets of Leith, and I produced these short little videos of these clips of the world leaders basically talking about rubbish. Quite funny. And I had the exhibition here at the studio out of the blue. One of my longtime patrons who had been buying work for me for quite a number of years loved them and decided to buy the whole collection. And that was 10 paintings, and that was for the first time that I had some money in the bank. And so at that point I thought, okay, I need to start thinking, being more mature and take this opportunity as an investment, and invest that money wisely. I was looking around, and it was 2017 where I eventually found Bitcoin and cryptocurrency, and I decided to invest my money into that. Unfortunately, I discovered that I was a much better painter than I was an investor and trader. So within about 6 months, I ended up losing most of my savings. But in the process, I thought this cryptocurrency space is amazing. It's exciting. It's volatile. There's these characters, these icons, these iconic people. There's geniuses, like the Vitalik. There's a John McAfee, and I thought this is an opportunity to, in a way, as like a social realist painter, to document the things and the themes and the ideas and the people behind this technology. I think I'd sold 2 or 3 of the paintings before the exhibition even opened up. I was completely blown away by the fact that there were people in the world who knew nothing about me, deciding to buy my work directly from me. I stumbled into something where there's an interest in art and technology, and they completely embraced what I was doing. All of a sudden I fell into this rabbit hole with all these really innovative, tech savvy people who were, I guess, looking for art that represented who they were. By the end of that exhibition, I sold just about everything, and that was end of 2018. By 2019, I was going to different cryptocurrency conferences. So the first one was in Manchester, and that's when I first heard about NFTs. It was David Moore, who's the CEO of Known Origin, one of the NFT marketplace platforms. He was trying to explain to me what an NFT was and why it would be of benefit to me as an artist. And I honestly, we talked for about half an hour and I couldn't get my head around it. I was like, no, this is ridiculous. You know, I paint, I create paintings, I sell them, people pay me in Bitcoin or Ethereum, and it's all good. You know, this is where my market is. But eventually, after kind of 5 or 6 months of watching and seeing other artists and buyers coming in, you know, art collectors coming into the space, I thought, okay, this is interesting. There's something here that I need to take more seriously. I got in touch with a friend of mine, a French artist called A Lot of Money, who had been I knew in the space for about a year or so, and I knew that he was working in this NFT platform market, and so I asked him to hold my hand and help me, you know, onboard into the space. So we did a collaboration piece with a painting, ETH Girl, and he animated it in a GIF format, and we then did like a big kind of publicity drop on Super Rare, and it smashed all records at that time by about 7 times. People have asked me, you know, why do you think you've done as well as you have in this space? You know, is it because you came from a traditional background? In some ways, you know, could be seen as a hindrance, because this is a whole new world. The fact that I had been involved in working and playing with technology with my painting 7 or 8 years before, I had a connection, I had a history, a past, a drive to see how tech could be used and incorporated with my painting to create something new. So I think that's one of the reasons why I was accepted into the space without a lot of hesitation. So that's pretty much how I got into NFTs. It's a very long story.